stay up here and not go back and down, up and down. So my name is Debbie Gilbert, and I am the artistic director of the Woodbridge Flute Choir. So I want to thank you for coming to our concert. Especially want to thank Reverend Jerry Fields, music director Katie Sarsone, and pianist Gary Thomas, and all of the staff for inviting us to perform here. I just met your new pastor, Reverend Martin, is that right? So if you don't know her yet and you're a member of this church, be sure to meet her. If you haven't done it already, please silence your cell phones. We are recording. It's being live streamed, and we are also recording it. So please silence that. We have Ron Duquette in the back here does audio recordings of our concerts, and you should have gotten a little flyer an insert in the bulletin in the program, so that you can either get a CD, which these are kind of going the way of the dodo bird, but you can get a CD if you want, a USB, or he'll send it as an email attachment for you. So, and also previous recordings are on the back. So if you're interested in those, you can write a check or just see Ron. He will be actually in the lobby after the concert, and he can answer any questions that you have. You were given, in addition to the regular program, you were given a postcard, and so if you use the QR on the postcards, you can actually go to a longer version of the program instead of just the 4 pages that we have. So you can see who our sponsors are, learn more about the flute choir if you want to do that. And also in the back is a list of all of our upcoming concerts for this season, so you have that information also. So our first piece is meditation on the hymn Abide With Me. It's a beautiful arrangement by Kelly Vi for flute choir. It was written by a Scottish Anglican cleric, Henry Francis Light, in 1847. I'm just going to read the first verse. Abide with me, falls fast the eventide. Thy darkness deepens, Lord, abide with me, abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless, oh, abide with me. Since some of you may not be familiar with a flute choir, I'd like to just introduce the instruments so you know what you are hearing. We'll start with the smallest, and that's the piccolo. If you see Tara's playing the piccolo back there. And then we have C flutes that you see in bands and orchestras, so hold up the C flutes. And then we have alto flutes over here, so they're a little bit bigger, a little bit more rounded, diameter is greater. And then we have bass flutes. They're so big, it curves, so you have to play them, looks like a candy cane. And then we have the big granddaddy, which is the contrabass that Sherry is playing. So that's all the instruments, and so you'll hear all of those different sounds. Our next piece is called À la manière de Pat, which it just simply means in the manner of Pat, was written by Vincenzo Sorrentino. Our next piece, Bring Him Home, is a song from the musical Les Miserables. The main character, Jean Valjean, sings the song as a prayer to God, offering his own life in exchange for Marius, the man his daughter loves. The song has since become a universal plea for the safety and return of loved ones in times of danger or separation. Okay, choir. Choir members could come forward. So For the Beauty of the Earth is a sacred choral composition originally written by English composer Folliot Sanford Pierpont in 1864. And at first I thought, is that the guy who wrote Jingle Bells? No, it's not. It's a different guy, okay? The English composer John Rutter reused the words of this hymn but wrote new music for it. So we are so fortunate to have the Heritage Presbyterian Choir join us along with Gary Thomas, their pianist, on this arrangement for flute choir and vocal choir. And just let me say, Gary Thomas is an old dear friend of mine from way, way back. He used to be the pianist, organist when I was the music director at a Methodist church in Manassas for years. And I miss you, Gary, and and I know Heritage Presbyterian is so lucky to have him. What a gem he is. So thank you, Gary, for playing with us. change positions, and we change. Some of us are changing flutes, as a matter of fact, for the second half of our concert. I just want you to know that we do have, the Woodbridge Flute Choir has produced 4 commercial CDs, and they are going to be in the little lobby area. So if you still have a CD player and you would like one, we're just asking for donations, or you can pick one up for free if you'd like. You can also get them digitally on Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby, places like that. Our next piece, Somewhere Bluebirds Fly, was written by Aaron Spencer in 2023. It was written in memory of the 4 people who died in the Club Q shooting in 2022. Aaron based this piece on the melody Somewhere Over the Rainbow to represent a place where we can find hope if we look closely, even in our grief. The instructions she gives to the musicians to describe how we should play this go through all of those emotions. So the first part is melancholy, then unease, rageful, bitter, momentarily calm, with renewed rage, blank, with strength, and with growing determination. So it certainly does describe all of the emotions of grief and going through that. So I hope you enjoy this. It's just a very, very beautiful piece. Somewhere Bluebirds Fly. A piece of the Acton was written by flutist Gareth McLaren and dedicated to his colleagues at the William S. Haynes Flute Company. I actually owned a William S. Haynes flute for about 30 years. They're very well-made flutes. He wrote the piece in celebration of his 10 years as the European Artist in Residence. So it was premiered in 2024. The William S. Haynes Flute Company is located in Acton, Massachusetts, and that's why it's a piece of the Acton, not action, okay? So his little humor, he's quite a clever guy, okay? There are extended techniques in this piece, so if you hear some weird sounds coming from the flutes, that's intentional, okay? It's not a mistake, all right? Fire Dance was written by, in 2009 by Valerie Coleman, certainly one of my favorite composers for flute choir, and we are delighted to have my friend Gary Thomas join us on this also. So, hang on, it's going to be a fun ride. Our next piece is also by Gareth McLaren. It's called So Many Themes, So Little Time. It is a parody of well-known movie themes, so see if you can name them all. There are 23, and he does it in 5 minutes, about 5 minutes, okay? Before we play our final piece, I would just want to again thank the staff of Heritage Presbyterian Church for inviting us to come, and also a big thank you to all of our sponsors and patrons for the Woodbridge Flute Choir. That really means a lot to us and helps us to keep going. If you have any questions about our instruments or want to come up and talk to us, we'd be happy to let you know something about them. And don't forget to see Ron if you want a recording of this piece, or go and get a CD in the lobby, okay? Our final piece is Nancy Norris's arrangement of Flight of the Bumblebee. Have a good evening. Thank you.